Hello, everyone. Good morning again. So I have with me Amor Sexton, the Chief Operation Officers of Blockdaemon today. Hello, Amor.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I need from you, the Black Demon somehow newly in the market. It's well known elsewhere. We're based in the Middle East, so I would love to hear a little bit of background on Black Demon, highlight the mission, the key services, the position within the blockchain infrastructure industry.
Sure. So Blockdaemon does have a global presence. We're new in the market, but as you said, we're well established outside of the MENA region. And our real focus is on powering the blockchain economy through offering institutional grade infrastructure. So we're use case agnostic. It doesn't matter what you're doing in the Web3 space or what you're doing with blockchain technology. We've got a product or a service that can really help power your business. So everything from dedicated nodes to a suite of APIs, both RPC and also a universal API product that is tailored and has data models to meet specific business needs. We also have MPC key management technology and an institutional on-prem wallet. So a wide range of institutional products there. And we're very much focused on not only providing institutional grade products, but being that really reliable and dependable counterparty and partner to these institutions, because we know that it's not just about the product, but it's about the company as well when you're working with institutions.
Yeah, I was before preparing for this discussion, I was checking around, and somehow a lot of acquisition took place, and you're trying really to create a great ecosystem around the brand with a lot of offering and services. So what specific infrastructure services does Blockdaemon offer, and how do these services address the main pain points commonly faced by blockchain developers and enterprises?
So I think if you look at institutions, some of the barriers to entry, if you're working with blockchain, especially if you're not a crypto native institution, if you're, for example, a regulated financial institution, it's the skill set to be able to actually deploy and maintain your own infrastructure, as well as the skill set to be able to build some of the key pieces of technology that you'll need, for example, MPC key management. So that's where our approach is, to make it as easy as possible for these institutions to be able to deploy blockchain technology internally, and allowing them to really focus on the business use case, and also accelerating their time to market. So, for example, our dedicated node product, we run those nodes and we maintain them across over 60 different protocols. So depending on what protocol you need access to, you can use our dedicated node product to be able to participate in that network without having to have the overhead of having that engineering expertise in-house to be able to maintain that infrastructure.
I believe after maybe the big players, main protocols on coin market cap, most of the new protocols and the layer 2 solutions, they are using solutions like yours, right? Instead of building their own nodes.
They can do, yeah. We support a number of L1 protocols, but also L2 protocols. Our whole motto is being able to power an institution regardless of how they want to participate in the network as well. So whether it's having that deeper level of control through running a node, or it's using APIs just to be able to pull information from a particular blockchain, we've got the infrastructure to be able to support that.
So the call and this short interview is mostly about welcoming you into the Middle East and UAE in specific. So what are your perspective on the potential of the MENA region in terms of blockchain adoption and innovation?
I think it's a really interesting region for us, not only because it's one of the world's fastest growing regions, but it's got a really interesting mix of the ways, the business activities around blockchain. So it's got everything from what we would call more crypto players in the market, exchanges, custodians, companies like that, to financial institutions that are looking to tokenize real world assets. And because we're use case agnostic, the ability to be able to provide services and help power that broad range of companies in the region is what makes it really, really interesting for us.
I agree. But does the size of UAE or in terms of size and user base, so are you comfortable in terms of outcome of such an investment? Because in terms of, we're talking about the big scale, matter of scale and the number of users and the number of clients. So somehow our region is small compared with other places where you are a major player like in the US.
I think it's small, but it's rich in its diversity and in the quality of the companies as well. So when we were looking at our global expansion plans, it was an obvious region because even though it's small, like I said earlier, it's got a really interesting mix of companies. It's fast growing, and also it's our entry into the region as well. So understanding the MENA region and starting off in the UAE is of particular interest to us, and making sure that we really make our products and services relevant for the local market. And it's a fantastic region to be able to do that in.
And I like it when you said understanding the region and the culture. So mostly looking from outside and the noise we can make in Dubai, because there's always a lot of hype and noise. So people have a different perception whenever they see UAE or what's happening in the region from outside. But whenever you're in, you start feeling more comfortable while understanding the culture and how things can be done. So what's the strategy for the UAE at the time being, short-term, middle-term, and long-term strategy?
Well, the expansion is really more of a physical presence. So it's really a commitment to being part of and driving the whole Web3 revolution in the UAE. And then, like I mentioned earlier, the broader MENA region as well. So we're calling it a crypto spring at the moment, what we're experiencing globally. Hopefully it's the end of the crypto winter. So we think the timing it couldn't be better, and the positive momentum in the market's really palpable. And, registering with the ADGM really enables us to set that foundational groundwork in the local community, and being able to work with them to help, power that ecosystem.
Perfect. So you brought the question. So what was the motive, or what influenced you to pick ADGM as jurisdiction? Financial sector?
Yeah, we did. Look, we obviously looked at some of the other areas, and really the decision was based on the fact that when we looked at the client base in the UAE, and particularly the clients that were registered with the ADGM, it was just very suited to our current client base and our prospective client base. As I mentioned earlier, we're really focused on powering those large institutions, and making sure that we can deliver that institutional grade experience with our products. And it just felt, when we looked at the different regions, it just felt like that Abu Dhabi was the market for us to establish in and use as a base for expansion.
I can't agree more. So can you elaborate more about the type of license you have at hand now with ADGM?
Yeah, we're registered as an entity with the ADGM. So it's not
a financial entity.
It's not a financial license. No, we're a technology company.
Yeah. So what about the self-hosted MPC wallet technology? And we're talking infrastructure, so let's talk about the one.
Yeah, well, our wallet technology, we believe, is really quite unique in the market because it gives absolute control to institutions over their digital assets. So it's fully self-hosted, it's on-prem. Our clients can choose whether they want to deploy that on an internal cloud or some other type of internal infrastructure. but it leverages our advanced MPC technology that's tried and proven. And it just allows, especially our regulated clients who have very specific needs for how they deploy and manage technology around their digital assets, it really allows them to be able to have that greater level of control than some of the other offerings in the market.
Well, going a little bit wider, and if I understand well the way you're building and the way you're working, so do you have in the pipeline any thoughts about possible partnership with other players, mainly data centers and other infrastructure providers in the UAE to be part of your ecosystem?
Yes, we're always open to looking at strategic partnerships. We already have over 70 data centers globally and 10 cloud providers worldwide. So it's something that we're looking at, and we're always open to have discussions. Part of our global business is to also make sure that we can meet the infrastructure needs from our clients as well, which is why we have so many points of presence globally.
Yeah. So is geofencing a matter of concern with specifically government entities working with you in UAE or elsewhere?
We've had, I wouldn't say geofencing as much as very specific location requirements. So, for example, we could have a client that needs to have their nodes in a very specific location. Obviously, with our on-prem technology, that's not an issue because they're deploying it themselves and there's no location aspect because they're fully in control of that. But we're definitely able to cater to specific localization requirements if our clients do have them.
And my last question was one of the main topics that are being discussed lately is the tokenization of real world assets. So how a company like Blockdaemon can contribute to this long-awaited regulation first and functionalities and operation later on?
I think there's a number of different ways that we contribute. Obviously, there's our products, which help power any use cases. So our advanced MPC technology products, for example, they have universal compatibility across protocols and digital asset types.
No, sorry for interruption, because somehow most of regulators, if you look into what's happened in Switzerland or Luxembourg or even the state, so all the discussion is mostly about the custody service of these assets, and somehow the segregation between who's doing the offering and the service and who's holding the asset is very important for regulators. And I assume someone like you will have a bigger role in a coming project like this in the UAE.
Yes, I mean, we don't custody any assets. So our on-prem wallet, as I mentioned earlier, it's a piece of technology that our clients deploy, and they can use that whether they want to use it for qualified custody or self-custody. We've structured that product in a way that meets. We have a lot of regulated clients who use that, and we've structured that in a way that it meets their technology requirements for how they want to deploy it. And also we have our operational model there. We've got hot, warm, and cold storage, so they can also meet the regulatory requirements for the storage of assets, because depending on the jurisdiction, for example, in some jurisdictions, the cold storage part of that infrastructure is very, very important. So being able to make sure that we have the capability in the product itself, so that depending on which jurisdiction our clients are based, they can adapt and use the technology to meet their business needs in line with the regulatory expectations.
Again, my last question then. So one of the main issues that both regulators, VARA and ADGM, they are really stressing on is the ESG disclosure for VASPs in the UAE. So as a service provider here, are we when using your services, those VASPs are going to be more ESG friendly, let me say, and or
ESG friendly, sorry, is that what you said?
yeah.
I would like to think so. We certainly look at the ESG aspects for our own infrastructure. But again, because we're that really base layer technology, a lot of it would depend on the additional business activities that they build on top of our technology or that they're utilizing us for. But ESG is important for us. And we do, for example, we try and work with data center providers that really promote sustainability. And it's something that we are quite conscious of ourselves. But the extent to which our own approach can help power our clients, it really does depend how they utilize our services.
Amazing, Amor. Thank you for your time, and it was a nice discussion, and hopefully we'll meet in person soon.
Great. It was nice to meet you.
Same here.